5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Two white Muslims.
Go.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa rahmatullahi.
Wa barakatuh.
My name's Junaid Rahim.
And my name's Mohammed Yusuf Bashforth.
And affectionately we're known as
The Two White Muslims. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa rahmatullahi.
Wa barakatuh.
Guess
Here
what?
we go again.
Guess what? We're here again. We're back again. It's happened.
This little plastic card. It just every time the door just goes
Click.
click.
Without
And it
fail.
oh,
You know what that means? You're and I'm talking to our wonderful listeners now. Your worst nightmare has come true. They're back again.
we're here for another 3 hours.
Marge, they're back again.
And we've locked ourselves in.
Yes,
We've barricaded
the doors.
doors. Yeah. I've had special security glass fitted
Yes.
on the windows.
So for the next 2.5, nay, 3 hours.
And they would literally have to pull the plug.
Exactly.
Yeah, but
which
they're
is not
gonna
beyond the
do
realms
that
of possibility.
because the plug's in
However,
here.
Yes, even the plug's in here. Even the buttons are in here. Phenomenal. Oh, so we've got a great show ahead of us.
Alhamdulillah. Do you know what? I'm feeling great
Me
about
too.
this today.
Me
I'm feeling good.
too.
And I don't know why I'm feeling particularly good today. I
Well,
just
because
am.
we feel good every day.
Yeah, it must be the meds.
Why would you not? Wait, it could be that. Could be that. Could be that. Could be that.
Must
Let's
be
be
the
honest.
medication.
Oh, but no. Why would we not? I'm looking at this list. Why would we not?
Do you know what I think's amazing?
Go on.
The human brain.
Yes.
Yeah, because it just never ceases to just come up with utter rubbish
Yeah,
to
exactly.
talk about.
Yes, and it's always there.
I
It's
think
always working.
The human brain is amazing because some of them are truly incredible
Yes.
and amazing. But I think my human brain is it's an abomination. If I'm honest. It is because it knows stuff. But it just flatly ignores all of it. It just spouts drivel.
Yes.
Utter drivel.
Utter drivel.
Yeah.
But,
Likewise. You know, I quite like
what it
it.
does forget, names.
Yeah. Oh, I'm
Dates.
terrible with names.
Yes.
Terrible.
So I have it all written down.
Oh,
It's all scripted, this, you know.
It's like autocue.
Yeah, it's all on autocue.
I wish
Oh,
it
hang
was.
on, that autocue's going a bit quick. Just slow it, easy time.
Slow it down, slow it down.
You're at boil, simmer.
Slow it.
Now that's you're taking the mick now. Stop it. Yeah, it's all scripted. This it is. We spend hours putting this rubbish together.
Actually, listeners, what actually happens
We have a
is
list.
Junaid
Yes,
gets news items
I do.
into his feed on his phone.
I do.
And he sorts them out and sifts
And I
through
save them. And I think
and
that
decides,
we'll talk about that.
We'll talk about that.
That'll
we'll
be a
talk
good
about
one.
this one. We'll talk about that one.
That'll be a good
and
one.
he saves them.
Yep.
And then he creates his list.
He does.
For each
He does.
day.
I do.
And then he brings his list and his phone in.
Yes.
And I have not got the first
No idea.
clue as to what we're going to talk about.
And I occasionally start by asking you questions, and you
Yep.
have that look of horror on,
Yep.
on your face.
It's the element of
It
surprise.
is. Constant element of surprise. And so we have a list in front of us today.
Alhamdulillah.
So we have a list, and then we have all the stories on my phone. So I have the list on one hand, phone on the other, and that's enough for the next 3 hours.
You sat back,
Yes.
microphone in position,
Always.
feet up on another chair.
Always.
Always.
Yes.
It's your sciatica.
It is.
Your
It's my
sci-
sciatica.
it helps,
I don't want
it
that coming back.
helps.
It helps with sciatica. I don't want that coming back. Now, if I was to say to you, in this great British Isle of ours,
Yeah.
what are you never more than 6 feet away from?
A rat.
A rat.
Yes.
A rat. You
Yes.
know, one of the things we're going to talk about
I'm
today.
about 3 feet away from one.
Yes, you are. You are in plain sight. One of the things we're going to talk about today.
You
a
rat.
rat.
Go on
a
then.
rat. But it's one heck of a rat.
Is it?
Oh, wait till you hear about this for the rat.
Is it a big rat or
It's
an
a big
intelligent rat?
No, it's a big rat.
Oh.
Oh,
Do you
it's
know
a
rats are
big
incredibly
rat.
intelligent, don't you?
I've heard this.
They are.
Yep.
And they can very, very soon work their way around things like mazes
Yes.
and over obstacle courses,
Yep.
etc., etc.
Yep.
They're very clever things.
Yes.
Yeah.
If they eat something that makes them feel a little unwell,
Yeah.
they will never, ever, ever in their entire lifetime eat anything that tastes or smells like it again. Ever.
Wow.
They'll remember that. It's their defence mechanism.
Wow.
Because they're scavengers.
Yeah.
Their defence mechanism, oh, that made me feel a little unwell. Never having that again.
Wow.
And they will remember the smell, remember the taste, and they'll never eat again.
Amazing.
Incredible.
Amazing.
So we're going to talk about a rat. We're going to talk about a rat. We are going to prove that we as the two white Muslims are right.
That's beyond doubt.
Again.
Yeah. Beyond doubt.
So guess what that one's
Always
about?
right. Probably about alcohol.
It's about alcohol. There we go.
How much are we supposed to drink?
None.
How much is it recommended that we drink?
Nil.
How much does our beautiful religion encourage us to drink?
Not a drop.
Nothing.
And we advocate that because we've been on both sides of this fence,
We have indeed.
and we can absolutely confirm that this information is right, it's
Yeah.
true, and it's wonderful.
This is the best side of that.
It's the best
fence.
side of that fence to be.
Yeah.
Oh
It is.
my goodness! And there's a
Alhamdulillah.
few people here wish more people are on that side of the fence. I
Yeah.
can assure you.
I'm sure.
So we'll have a little look at that. Scientists have done something which is absolutely blowing my mind.
They do it all the time.
It is
They
blowing
blow my mind all the time.
mind. This cannot be possible.
But they've done something
They've done
really,
something
really amazing. Have they? Okay.
Beyond amazing. It
Okay.
is simply beyond amazing. You will say that's not possible. Cannot be possible.
I say that
And
about a
they've
lot of things.
done it. They've done it.
Wow. Okay.
It's incredible. We're going to talk about driving, just generically.
Yeah, driving.
We're going to discuss driving. We're going to discuss the potential pitfalls of taking a family member's photograph.
Okay.
Of saying, just step out there
Yeah.
while we take a photograph of your grandma.
Okay.
And we're going to consider the potential pitfalls of that.
It depends where you are, really, I suppose.
Well, it certainly does. Well, for this lady, and she is a grandma. When I say granny, I'm not being, rude.
No.
She is a self-confessed grandma. This granny, bless her, we're going to consider the issue. You think you're having a bad day? Get ready. We're going to discuss our worst nightmares.
Okay.
Our absolute worst nightmares.
I know what yours is.
Well, that's what we're going to discuss.
Well, talk
funny
about
enough.
that,
Yes,
okay.
we're going to talk
You know
about
what
more,
mine
but then
is.
we're going to focus on mine.
Oh.
Yes. And then we're just going to consider a debate.
Yeah.
I don't want to get into the transgender debate,
No.
but I just want to get into what some people have said and done recently
Yeah.
to provoke discussion, shall we say.
I think we should discuss
Well,
these issues.
we are going to. Well, we're not going to offer our opinion.
No.
We're just going to put forward the fact that somebody has put forward an opinion, and should they have the right to have that opinion?
Yep.
And then we're also going to consider what somebody else has done to kind of support that, and to in their humble opinion, make a little bit of a mockery of an argument that's been going about at this moment in time.
Okay.
So we're going to look at that. We're going to look at that.
That's an interesting list.
It is. In and amongst everything else that we do, we're going to discuss those things.
Inshallah. That's
I'm
great.
also going to figure out who's screaming, what's going on
I know.
in the next room. This is a soundproof room, and I just heard somebody screaming
I know.
with
Well,
laughter.
I actually know who that is.
Oh, right,
and I
okay,
know
okay.
what's going on in the next studio
Right,
to us.
right.
And I know what they're doing. I know what
Okay.
they're preparing for.
Ah,
and
brilliant.
I know the people.
Very good.
Yeah, and they are lovely people.
Brilliant. I just want to make sure
Brilliant.
they're
do a
okay.
fantastic- They do a
because
great
that
job.
that was rather shrill.
That was a bit of a shriek.
It was a
wasn't
shriek.
it?
That was a
I'm
shriek.
thinking-
I wonder if I wonder if they've come across one of our worst nightmares. I wonder if they have.
One
I
of
wonder if they
your
found it
worst
under the table.
nightmares.
Yes.
I'm
'Cause that
hoping,
would have had that reaction from me.
I'm hoping they didn't come across my way.
No, fair comment.
That would be really
They'd be
scary.
unboxing bananas or something to get that one. What's going on there? There's something come across. It's brought something with it. So that's us. That's us.
Talking
In
about
between-
unboxing bananas.
Oh yes.
I was in the supermarket one day.
Yes.
And I heard a shriek
Right.
from a woman.
Yep.
And everybody stopped what they were doing and looked around.
Yes.
And she said, catch it quickly. Somebody catch it quickly. So like this, and I was thinking, what's going on? Has she lost a baby? Or has she lost a child? What's going on?
Yeah.
What's going on? And then, as you looked on the floor, there was this insect on the floor, and I have never seen anything like it in my life. It had unreasonably long legs.
Right.
And I said, first of all, I'm going to have
Look
a
a
talk
bit
to
like
this thing.
Alien.
I'm going to talk to this thing and say, look, mate, your legs are way too long for your body.
Yep.
Shape yourself
Yeah.
up.
Stop it.
Sort yourself out.
Stop it.
And as I was thinking that, there was a clicking noise, and it was a really, really loud clicking noise.
Yep.
And this thing leapt into the air. It's like its back legs were on some kind
Right.
of hydraulic spring. And
Yes.
it leapt into the air, and about 10 yards down the aisle, and landed on the floor and just stood there and looked around again.
Oh my goodness!
I was thinking, what on earth is that?
Yes.
And I didn't think it was dangerous,
Right.
Because it just looked
Didn't
like
have a
some
look
kind of cricket style thing, but
okay.
with stupidly long legs.
Yes.
And it didn't make any noise.
Right.
It just made this weird clicking noise.
Click.
It's almost like when it stood still, it had to reset its back legs
Oh wow!
to make them click again and
Yes.
just spring off again.
Yes.
But before it had chance to click and spring off another time, somebody put a bowl over the top of it
Right.
and took it away.
And caught it.
What I want to know
What was
is, first of all, what was it?
Yes.
And secondly, what did they do with it?
Yes.
So if you work in a supermarket
Yep.
and you have come across weird and wonderful insects
Yep.
and bugs and the likes that come in fruit that's imported,
Yep.
and you catch said item, what do you do with them?
Huh.
What do you do with a bug that's come in a bunch of bananas?
A bunch of bananas. Well, I do remember years and years and years ago, in the short period of time that I worked for the bank,
Yep.
being in the back office
Yep.
and everybody freaking out because they found what looked like a spider, but also was flying and looked like a bee.
Okay.
And it was just surreal. The combination of these two, it was just surreal. And it just looked like the combination of a bee stroke spider. Do you know what I mean? A bee with like 8 big fat black legs. And this guy, what's his name? Oh, Alistair, who worked at the time, managed to get a glass over it, put paper under it, and got in touch with the council with regards to pest control and all that kind of thing, and said, you need to come look at this because I've never seen anything like it. And he kept it and they took it away. But likewise, no idea what happened to it, no idea what it was, but it was almost like a domestic spider and a bee combined. A bit of cross-pollination, shall we say. It was surreal.
I wonder what they did with it then. I wonder what happened.
Yeah, exactly.
What is the fate of these bug-like things?
What happened to it? What happened? Did they put it back in the thing and it turned back into the scientist that I mean, what? Say help me! What? Help me! Weird. It was weird.
Strange things. I think bugs are amazing. Do we know all the bugs on this planet?
No, can't possibly.
Or are there millions of things that we've never seen?
Well, loads of things at the bottom of the sea.
Yeah.
That I think we explored that the other day. You know what I mean?
Incredible.
Incredible.
It's incredible.
But for now, that's our list. We'll be doing a little bit more of that after this.
Have we got some bananas today?
Oh, we have.
Are they bug-free?
Well, I'll make sure.
I'm going to tuck into one of them.
I'll eat them carefully now.
I'm going to tuck into one of them. It's good for us. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa rahmatullahi
Wa barakatuh.
Sorry, I'm already giggling.
You do that when you've got a great story to give.
Oh,
Let's talk about something amazing and you just start laughing.
yes. Yeah, this is an absolute classic. So, you think you're having a bad day?
I love these bad days.
Oh
It's actually for the people who are having this particular bad day. I guess it wasn't so good at the time.
No, absolutely.
But isn't it nice to be able to reflect when you think you're having a bad day?
It is.
There is always somebody out
having
there
a worse day
that's had a worse one.
And we say this because we should remain focused on the positive.
Yes.
And we should remain focused on how lucky we are to live at this time. Today, in this second, surrounded by the benefits that we've been given by Allah in whatever way they fall.
Yes.
And the reason we make this point is because it's easy to occasionally be drawn towards a negative.
Yes.
Especially when we consider the news. Good news is not good news.
No.
Only bad news is good news.
Yeah.
So we're surrounded by it.
But,
and we get beaten over the head.
We get bombarded with bad news.
Time after time. And then you get your you drop your phone, and you drop that. You're going to need to talk, so I need to bend down. It takes me further away from the microphone. You watch these dramas, whether they be the Asian dramas or even the English ones.
Oh,
you know, I know
EastEnders.
you're a fan of thingy Koi, aren't you?
Well, do you know what?
Is it
Last Ramadan,
yes,
we chose not to watch any TV during Ramadan.
Ah, okay.
And I kind of...
Oh, did you break the habit?
I lost it.
Takes 21 days, doesn't it, to break the habit? And there you go.
Gone. I now, if I watch Coronation Street now,
Yep.
I don't know what the heck's going on. I don't know who half the characters are.
Yes.
It's all changes.
Yep.
Yeah. But I used to love Coronation Street because it is comedy.
It had an element of comedy in it.
Yeah.
But it still then focuses on the negatives because that's what people want to see and hear.
Well, the thing is that the thinking there, I guess, is that if you show people all this negative stuff that's happening in so-planned lives, it'll make people's normal lives feel that much better.
Do you know, and my understanding is it's not even that. Research has shown that people don't want to hear good news.
Oh.
They just want to... If you
is that true?
Yeah.
Is that actually true?
Yeah, because they did a thing where they put newspapers out and one said, the weather's going to be fantastic, and one said there's going to be a hurricane, and everybody bought the one that said there's going to be a hurricane. They will not buy everything is good with the world. Well, what's the point of looking up then? Only bad news is good news.
Wow. That's
which
crazy.
is quite tragic. So, the reason we make this point is because I know there will be horrible things happening in people's lives. I know that people will be ill, people might have lost people. I get that. We're not talking about that.
No.
Because when those things happen, they are terrible.
Yes.
And we completely get that. But then the other stuff, which by all accounts, if we take a step back and really focus on it, a month from now, we're not even going to... You'll have forgotten all about it.
Yeah, it's all gone.
So why let it ruin your day today?
It's all gone, yeah.
So one of the ways that we do... one of the things that we do to help with that is just consider, yes, there are people out there having a worse day than you. Are you ready for this one?
I'm ready.
Granny is swept out to sea on ice thrown after posing for tourist snap sparks Coast Guard rescue.
Oh my goodness me.
There's just so much to unbottle in that, isn't there?
Yeah, there is.
There's so much to break down out of that one. And basically, I believe this was in Iceland.
Yeah.
A family were walking in Iceland and they saw this big lump of ice, which was it had frozen in the shape of a huge chair.
Okay.
So they said, "Come on, Granny, sit on that and we'll take a photograph." So I'll show you the photograph.
Oh,
and it is a lovely old lady sat on what can only be described as a huge
an ice throne. Yes.
Brilliant.
Fantastic.
Brilliant. There.
Oh, no.
As the family were taking the photograph, the throne broke off.
Okay.
And amazingly quickly was just swept away with her on it. So I'll show you. This is just to get my brother Yusuf here's reaction. That's picture number 1 again.
Yep, got that. Yep.
Picture number 2.
No. No.
I'm laughing because she's perfectly okay. But how far out to sea is that little old lady on that ice throne? Would you say 200 yards? 300 yards?
200 yards, yeah, absolutely.
Minimum 200, maybe 300 yards.
Yeah, and how...
just literally sucked out to sea.
Well, people don't realise how powerful the sea is. And if you get into the sea at the wrong moment, it is going to take you out.
Yes,
and there is,
it did.
And you have to be an extraordinarily powerful swimmer to stop that from happening.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Yeah? And most people can't.
Well,
that's why most people get swept out to sea.
And when it comes to tides, I mean, we used to watch that the Australian thing where it's the lifeguards on Bondi Beach, Bondi Rescue.
Yeah.
And they would just say, if you're in a riptide, you are in it. It is no good trying to fight it.
That's right.
You are not getting back to shore.
That's right.
Either let yourself go out and put a hand up, we'll come and get you, or swim left or right.
Yeah.
You've got to, you know what I mean? It will take you out. It was extraordinary. So, a beaming gran poses for tourist snap on her ice throne before being swept out to sea. Dramatic photos show stunned Judith Strang floating off Iceland's southern shore after the photo op quickly went from icy to dicey. Well done, author. Brilliant. Love it. Love it. The American who was holidaying on the volcanic island this week with her son Rod needed to be rescued after the Icelandic Coast Guard was scrambled.
Yep. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
Texan Judith told ABC News it was shaped like, I don't know why she's talking like she comes from Bolton. It was shaped like an easy place to sit. You can tell by looking at the shape of it. And I thought, well, that looks like fun. When I got on it, it started to totter.
Wow.
Sorry. When I got on it, it started to totter. And then a big wave was coming in. An even larger wave came in and kind of made the throne kind of rock a little.
Oh.
And I thought to myself, ooh, I might slip off this. No, she didn't. She stayed sat atop it. Unfortunately, the whole thing broke off and was swept away.
Me.
The panicked Grand was dragged out into the water while sitting stiff on her icy perch. Luckily, the captain of a nearby rescue boat spotted her.
Wow.
Whoa.
That is lucky.
It is, because all it would have taken was for that to topple.
Yeah.
You ain't going to last long in an Icelandic.
I was just thinking, look, if you're
is it a minute?
If you sat on a chunk of ice,
Yep.
it's going to be cold.
Yes.
Yeah, so clearly it was cold. Clearly the sea temperature is not going to be much above freezing. And any fit person landing in that has got literally a minute or 2 minutes. Yeah?
I'm sorry, I'm laughing.
We've all watched Titanic and watched how quickly Jack freezes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There was room on there for two.
Yeah, I know there was.
There was room on there for two.
She could have got him on there.
Over.
She could have.
Hey? Oof.
Yeah, no.
I'm just looking at this. There's a series of photographs later on. It shows her sat on the thing, and then it shows her a little bit further away, and then it shows her. It looks like about half a mile out.
Oh, no.
That is extraordinary. Terrifying. Terrifying. So, you think you're having a bad day? You think you're having a bad day?
That is a bad day.
That, my friends, is a bad
That
day.
is a near-death experience.
It is a near-death experience. It's actually, she's having a great day because she survived it.
Absolutely.
Think about it. Oh, my
But
goodness.
that could so easily have gone horribly wrong.
Oh.
Poor lady. And what about, can you imagine being the family and that's your gran?
Yeah,
Can you imagine what that'd be like?
What would you do? You can't go and get her.
You can't jump in and save her because you'd just die in there.
Where have you left the will?
Love you, Gran. Love you.
Yeah.
Is there anything you need to tell us? Anything you need to tell us?
Hey, we're going to have some leg room on that flight back. We'll be able to curl up.
There'll be a spare seat. Fantastic.
Oh. Judith's granddaughter, Catherine, received the hilarious set of photos. They are. They are, to be fair.
I'm sure they're hilarious
They are.
now.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, dear, I'm sure they weren't at the time. I mean, okay, so I get the pose. That was nice. Yeah, great photo opportunity. Fantastic. Snaps off, and within a split second, she's going out to sea.
Yes.
Yeah?
And their first thought is not call the lifeguard.
It's continue to take photos.
Hey, you're getting this. Are you getting this, love?
Are you getting this? Are you getting this? Take another one. Take another one.
Go on, get another one. Get another one. Do you think we should? Do you think we should call the
Coast Guard? Call the Coast Guard.
Be fine. Honestly.
Yeah, I will. But look, I'm taking these photos on my phone.
Yes.
And I can't use my phone and take the photo at the same time.
It's one or the other. Which one do you want?
Do you want photos of this, or do you want the Coast Guard? You make your choice.
Do you want living memories?
Make your choice. Gran, come here. Gran.
Look, Petulia, a sailing dinghy. Oh,
can you imagine?
Oh,
Subhanallah.
Yeah.
Gran, come on. Start paddling. Start paddle with your hands.
You said you wanted a trip to remember. Oh, I know you said you needed a bit of space. Oh dear. So yes,
Gran, come back. We didn't mean what we said earlier.
We didn't mean it.
By the way, where is your will? Gran.
Oh.
Crazy. Now that is a tough day.
That's a tough day. Granny ice.
So
that's what you've got to call it.
Next time, I think I'm having a bad day.
Yes.
I am not.
We'll think about Granny ice.
I am not sitting on an ice throne being swept out into a freezing sea.
Whilst your family simply takes photos.
Just take photos.
Are you doing anything about this? Yes, we are. Yep. We're getting it all on camera.
Getting it all on camera, love.
All right, Jeremy, where are you? Oh, man.
Subhanallah.
But just
Subhanallah.
to be fair, I'm glad they did.
Gran! Gran, come on! Start kicking your legs, love.
Start kicking. Can you just wobble, do that. Oh, brilliant.
I wonder what the guy in the ship thought.
I know.
Excuse me, what's that?
Yeah. And
What's this?
is that powered? How are you? How is it? How does this? Are you? She's waving. He's waving back.
She's waving at him.
Morning.
And he's thinking, hang on a minute, love. There's a thing called boat.
Yes.
You could get in a boat and do this.
Yep.
You shouldn't be on a chunk of ice, love.
This self-sufficiency, malarkey. Tom and Bob are good.
Me.
They've got a lot to answer
Gran! That's a bad day. Shall we do some of this?
I think we should.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa rahmatullahi.
Wa barakatuh.
Oh,
Trying to decide which one to do.
trying to decide which one to do. 'cause
Spoiled for choice.
I
eh?
know, spoiled for choice. And with this one, honestly, I'm getting a little shiver down the back of my spine.
Okay. Is it a good shiver or is it a nervous?
Oh, it's a
scary,
nervous, scary
it
shiver.
that kind of shiver?
Honestly, even as I look at this one, I'm like, oh.
Isn't it odd that is an actual physical sensation?
Yes,
a
it's
shiver
a
down your spine.
physiological response.
It happens.
Yes.
But the thing is, it happens in response to really horrible stuff that
Yes.
makes you scared,
Yes.
as well as happening to really nice stuff that
Yes.
just makes you feel quite elated.
But how does your body
But
know
it's the
this?
same thing.
Yeah.
It's the same feeling.
How do you know the difference?
So how are you supposed to interpret that feeling?
Yeah.
Yeah. How are you supposed to interpret that?
How am I
don't know.
supposed to read this without looking at the picture?
I don't
'Cause
know.
every time I look at the picture, it makes me feel a bit queasy.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Seriously. Seriously.
Okay.
Now, we've said in the past, we can put up with snakes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've had a snake round your neck, I've had a snake round my neck.
Yeah.
You put up with snakes. Fine.
Now, hang on a minute. I'm going to take that a stage further.
Oh, okay.
Put up with them is one thing.
Yes.
Absolutely loving the things.
Oh, there we go. Yes, yes.
I think they're
Something
amazing.
amazing about snakes.
There's something hypnotic about the way
Yes.
that they move, the way that
Yes.
they slither, the way that they look at you.
Yep.
That tongue that keeps doing its thing.
How they move.
How they move is just it's amazing.
It is incredible.
Amazing.
Yes.
So, and people think they're really slimy, but they're not.
No, they're not. Think
They're
they're
not.
cold.
They're not. They're warm.
They're warm-blooded.
Yeah,
And
amazing
they
creatures.
also think they'd be rock hard. They're not. They're all squidgy.
Yeah.
They're amazing. Amazing.
Incredible
So,
creatures.
whilst a lot of people will be terrified of snakes,
Yep.
Indiana Jones being one of them.
Yeah. My missus can't even look at it.
Oh, really?
Can't even look at a snake.
Right. Well, that's me and the next thing.
Okay.
Because if I was there to say, I'll tell you what your big is.
Yeah.
Scorpions.
Yeah, scorpions. I can't deal with
I
scorpions.
remember you telling me all about that. And I think our good listeners.
Oh.
Mine. Spiders.
Spiders?
Not a fan.
I'm all right with spiders.
And you're fine with them. It's weird. You're
okay.
fine with them. We've got a picture of child number 2 with a scorpion, not a scorpion, with a tarantula
Yep.
in her hand,
Yep.
glee on her face as she's
Yep.
looking at, you know what I mean? Tarantula. Oh.
They're incredible creatures.
Do you know what a possum is?
Okay. Is it like a skunk?
Yeah.
Like a badger?
It's like a badgery type, skunky type.
But they're not stripy and they don't stink.
No, exactly. But they are of that ilk. These little furry things.
Yeah.
I don't know how much they'd weigh. I don't know, but
A bit bigger, a very rounded rat.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So, just to set the context
Yes.
now, huge spider drags a possum
What?
across the forest floor in terrifying footage.
What?
Yes, it is.
What?
Huge spider drags possum, that's in capital letters, possum, ow, that hurt my wrist, across the forest floor in terrifying footage. Scientists from the University of Michigan captured the terrifying footage in lowland Amazon rainforest.
Now that
I'm not
is
going to show you the
just-
footage, but that's the picture.
Oh.
I know. You see. Oh, we're not quite.
Oh my
we're not such a
goodness
fan
me.
of that one now, are they?
How did a spider get that big?
Oh!
How does a spider have biceps?
Oh! It says, if you're not a fan of spiders, you might want to look away now. Too late.
Too late. It's done. Job's done.
Oh, the unbelievable incident is just one of 15 disturbing predator-prey interactions seen by the team during their study of the Amazon rainforest.
That spider has been at the gym.
Yes, and it is dragging a possum. Here we are. There's another picture, and you can see the possum now.
Oh, my
goodness.
goodness.
It is dragging a possum. And a possum is almost like it looks like a small monkey-type creature. And it's dragging the possum across the floor. Whilst the researchers initially planned to focus on reptiles and amphibians, they quickly turned their focus to arthropods, including insects, spiders, and scorpions. The interaction between the spider and possum happened at night after the researchers heard some scrabbling in the leaf litter. Michael Grundler, an author of the study, said, "We looked over and we saw a large tarantula on top of a possum."
How large? How large
I've got to go
is that tarantula? No, I want to see that picture. I want to see that one. Oh my goodness me, that's massive.
I can't even look at it.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Oh, it's not beautiful.
It is.
It is far from beautiful. Oh, I've got to go past it without looking. There we go.
You can't see it. You can't do that, can you?
The possum had already been grasped by the tarantula and was still struggling. It wasn't. This isn't roadkill. This isn't roadkill, and was still struggling weakly at that point. But after about 30 seconds, it stopped kicking.
Yeah, it would do. Yeah, it would do. Because the spider venom had paralysed it. Yep. Yes. Oh, it was still quite possibly alive.
Yeah.
It just couldn't kick anymore. Yeah.
A tarantula the size of a dinner plate. For anybody eating out there, I apologise. The tarantula, the size of a dinner plate, and the possum, a little larger than a softball.
Yeah.
And the softball is bigger than a tennis ball.
Yes.
Are we ready for other bizarre interactions the team saw? Included spiders preying on frogs and lizards.
Wow.
As well as a centipede consuming a coral snake.
No.
Joanna Larson, that's this bloke's sister, another author of the study, said coral snakes are very dangerous. She's not from Australia. Coral snakes are very dangerous and can kill humans. To see one taken down by an arthropod was surprising. Oh, you reckon? Those centipedes are terrifying animals, she said. Oh,
they're not. They're funny.
Oh,
They're funny little things with millions of legs.
Bearing in mind a mouse possum is actually generally smaller than a mouse, doesn't make that spider quite so big. What? Oh no, that's a comment. No, but look at the picture. They've said it's bigger than a softball. Somebody passed a comment saying, "Oh, it's not that big. It's not that big." Possums are no, but this one wasn't. It said the possum was the size of a softball. Yeah. Oh, and it actually dragged it along the bed of the thing. So, if you have a little bit of a problem with spiders, I don't think
you might want to swerve that.
I don't think I've helped you there, and it's impossible to read the thing without looking at the pictures.
I don't have a problem with spiders because as a kid I got my jam jar.
Oh, you did?
And I went collecting them.
You said?
Yeah, and I put some leaves and grass into my jam jar, and I poked some holes in the top of the lid so that there was some air getting in.
Yep.
And I went out and found some spiders.
Yes.
And I kept them. I kept them for weeks.
Wow.
And I've no idea how they managed to survive for weeks, but because I wasn't feeding them.
Nope.
But they did.
Did you see a few of them disappear?
Well, they kind of curled up and just stuck their legs in the air.
They were sleeping.
They didn't move anymore.
They were sleeping.
And I thought, if you're not going to move, I'm not going to keep you. I kind of tipped it out in the back garden.
They went,
as you do. But I collected spiders when I was a kid, so I got used to the feel of spiders crawling around my hands.
Yes.
And whereas, I mean, they're not my favourite things.
No,
they're not. But I can deal with them.
You can deal with them.
I can deal with snakes.
Yes.
not a problem.
Yep.
Yeah, I still to this day would like to swim with sharks.
Yes,
I can
you've
deal with
said
that kind
many,
of
many
stuff.
times.
I want to do
You
that.
can't even look at
Scorpions.
scorpions. Isn't that weird?
Oh
Scorpions, and I think scorpions are amazing.
no,
And I think that's because I watched Jason the Argonauts.
no,
I think they're incredible
no.
creatures. Incredible. That tail coming over the top.
It's just lethal, and they are so
And
fast. They are so fast.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Have you seen one run?
No.
Well, what
I know
happens
you
when a
have.
scorpion runs?
Yeah.
Its tail isn't curled up at the back. It's straight out at the back.
Right.
Straight out.
Streamlined.
Absolutely. And they can run so fast.
Really?
And they've got those little pincers at the front.
Yes.
And they're going to get hold of something. And when
And
they
then the
get
thing-
hold of something, the tail just comes round and goes.
So, in effect, the forward motion of the run will actually give them the momentum to chuck the tail over the back and straight
It absolutely does.
Wow.
And once it does that, large animals will die,
Yes.
including
Including
humans.
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 Yes.
You know, they're awful. They're just horrible creatures.
Yep.
And when I was in Mexico,
Yes.
I slept in a hammock. And I now know why people sleep in hammocks. Because a
yes.
scorpion can
Because a
climb up a
scorpion-
bed and into the bed and sting you.
We've all watched James Bond.
Yeah, we have.
Yes.
So
Is
you
that
sleep.
genuinely why they sleep in hammocks?
Yeah, so you sleep in a hammock.
Because of the scorpions.
Well,
the
it's
threat
because
of scorpions.
the threat of crawly,
all manner
crawly,
of creepy
crawly,
crawly,
bitey,
crawly.
stingy insects.
Yes.
Attacking you at night.
Course.
You see, whilst in Mexico, I slept in a hammock, and I used to very, very carefully kick my shoes
Yeah.
in the morning,
Yes.
and one day a scorpion crawled out of my shoe. So had I just put my foot in my shoe,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be here telling this
Nope.
story now.
Nope.
So, and I recoiled at this thing. It was just horrible.
Yeah.
And we had a sweeping brush in that room. And I got the sweeping brush
Yeah.
and I swept it with all my might.
Yeah.
And it skidded
Yeah.
along the floor, but it dug its feet in and turned round.
Did a full 180.
Yeah. Put its claws up in the air, its pincers in the air.
Yeah.
Yeah. Curled its tail up and gave me a look.
It looked.
It gave me and I swear it gave me a look. And it looked at me as if to say, I'm going to get you
Yeah.
for that.
Who do you think you are?
Who do you think? What do you think
know who I
you're
am?
doing? What do you think you're doing?
Wow.
I'm coming for you. And it'll be tonight.
Oh, God.
And, you know, that in my head is
Next
exactly
night
what
home.
it said.
Yes.
Exactly what
Yep.
it said. And it was horrible.
Oh, my
Now,
goodness.
friends of ours decided it was a bit uncomfortable night after night sleeping in a hammock.
Yep.
So they decided to, because it was a beautiful warm evening,
Yep.
clear sky, stars out, yeah, they decided to sleep on the roof. Yeah, she
Yeah.
only got stung by a scorpion.
Oh, my goodness.
She only got stung by a scorpion. So we were wondering, what do you do?
What do you do?
What do you do? We're virtually in the middle of nowhere. It's a tiny little village
Yep.
called Piste, just outside of, about 2 kilometres outside of Chichen Itza, where
Right.
the Mayan temples and pyramids are.
Yep.
So, and we don't know anybody around here. What do you do?
goodness.
What do you do? So, she seemed to be okay. She was still breathing, and she was in a lot of pain. But then she said, "Have you ever had flu?" And I'm talking proper flu,
Yes.
where all of your joints hurt,
Yeah.
and
Your back seizes up.
everything hurts.
Yeah.
She said all of a sudden it started like that, and she started sweating, and everything was hurting, and it was all awful. And we went and got help. What do we do about this?
Yeah.
Because in these places they've all got lotions and potions and stuff that you can, and
Yeah.
anti-venom stuff
Forewarned,
for these
forearmed.
for these kinds of situations.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was a guy called Francisco. I'll never
Right.
forget Francisco. He was amazing. And he said, "It's okay. It's okay. No panic. It's okay. No worries. No worries. Because this is a brown scorpion.
Yeah.
If this was a black one, you'd be dead.
Wow.
This
Yeah.
is a brown
How do you know
one.
it's a brown one? You're still alive.
Because you're still alive." Yeah. He
Golly.
said, "You'll be very poorly for today.
Yeah.
Tomorrow it'll go off, and over the next 3 days you'll be fine.
Wow.
But you're not going to die. Don't worry."
God
And there's nothing we need to give you. There's nothing you need to take. There's
Yep.
nothing you need to inject, etc.,
Yep.
etc.,
Yep.
etc. You'll be okay. And I was thinking, oh,
Yeah. Oh, my
that's my
goodness.
worst nightmare.
Yeah.
Just happened to
Yep.
one of my best mates.
Yes.
You know, and
What was the colour of the one that came out of your shoe?
that was brown.
Oh.
Yeah. Because that's the common
Right.
one around
Yeah.
around those parts.
Yeah.
Francisco was an amazing guy. I went out one day and I'd forgotten to put suntan lotion on the backs of my hands.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I was covered in my usual Factor 50.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
Factor,
Head to toe.
complete sunblock. Yeah, apart from the backs of my hands.
Yeah.
And I went out all day and it was blistering heat and sun.
Oh.
And we went round the ruins at Chichen Itza. What an amazing place that is.
Right.
I'll talk about that one day.
Yep.
But I came back that night and my hands were blistered. Literally blistered. You know what my skin's like
Yes,
out in the
with
sun.
inside 5
minutes. Takes minutes.
In
but
Wakefield.
I was blistered.
Oh, golly.
And he just looked and he said, no problem. He goes, come. And he took me over a dry stone wall into a field. And
Right.
he was looking around on the floor. And he said, see. And he went down onto the ground with his penknife and he cut this, it looked like a bit of a cactus leaf.
Go on, it's not going to be aloe.
And he
or
squirted it onto the back of my hand and all this jelly came out.
Yeah.
And he rubbed it into the back of my hand. And about a minute later, there were no blisters and no pain.
something. Wow.
I said, that's amazing.
Yeah.
What is that?
Why do we not know about this?
I could sell that in bottles and make a fortune. And it was aloe.
Was it aloe?
It was
Oh
the
my
aloe
goodness.
plant. Yeah. And that in its neat state
Yeah.
and its natural state healed my hand
Wow.
inside a minute.
And where do you find it? In sunny climes.
In sunny climes, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because you'll not find aloe
Alhamdulillah.
in Bournemouth
Birmingham.
or Bradford.
No, you won't.
You just won't. Where will you find it? In very, very hot climes
In
where people
Mexico.
will burn and people need the thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where do you find dock leaves?
Next to nettles.
Next to nettles. 'Cause what does a dock leaf do?
It soothes
It
the
soothes
sting.
and removes the sting
Yeah.
from a nettle.
Yeah.
Come on.
Amazing.
What is aloe?
Amazing.
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 Gives us everything we need.
So, that was, that
Would
was
we but
my,
know it?
my scorpion
Wow.
story in Mexico. We also saw snakes.
Yep.
And you just stand still and just allow the thing just to
Really?
it's going before me.
Yes.
So
yes.
saw snakes, and some of them were quite dangerous that we saw because we looked them up afterwards and we asked Francisco about them.
Yeah.
And he said, yeah, just avoid those.
That's a bad in that.
He said, your best bet is just to stand still and let it just go past.
Yes.
Which is exactly what we'd done.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
When I was in Sri Lanka,
Yes.
I walked out of the garden of the place where we were staying
Yep.
onto the road.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a really thin road. There were no cars there.
Yeah,
It
what
was
we
just-
call it a road.
Nah, not really. But I looked up, and about 10 metres away was a 8-foot monitor lizard.
Really?
Now,
8 foot?
they can hurt you. They
That's
can.
bigger than...
That's like a dragon.
Yeah.
It's a dragon. And it was massive.
Wow.
And I looked up and saw this thing and I thought,
I'm done for you.
I wonder if I can get back in this garden and close the gate before that eats me.
Yeah, because they
Yeah.
they honestly
They
they
do.
do, but they maintain the rule of gate.
Yes.
He wouldn't have come around it. Wouldn't have
No.
come over it.
No.
Can I shut the gate?
Honestly, that's what I was thinking.
Well, yeah, no,
What I was
absolutely,
thinking.
absolutely.
When your life's threatened, you think
Yes.
weird things.
Yes, yeah.
But luckily, this monitor lizard just looked and then carried on its way.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and just disappeared into the undergrowth.
Wow.
Yeah, what a sight that was.
God, blimey.
And again, I live to tell the tale.
Yes. Yes.
Alhamdulillah. This is
Brilliant.
why I so want to swim with sharks. I'm going to
Yes.
be okay.
Oh, it'd be
Yeah,
incredible.
watch it. First thing that will happen, I'll just get my leg eaten.
Yes, yes. As long as it's just a leg, you've got two.
Yeah.
Be fine. As long as it's your bad one.
That's why you've got two legs.
Yes.
So we've got a spare.
There you go. As
In
long as
case-
you-
in
as long
case
as
one
you-
gets
as long as it's
eaten.
your bad one.
Subhanallah. Oh, we've gone over time again.
We
I'm
have.
getting thirsty.
We shall move
Are
on.
you going to put that kettle on?
I think we should.
Get it on. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa rahmatullahi.
Wa barakatuh.
What a way to start. Brilliant. Brilliant. Hiccups galore. Hiccups and the product of eating donuts, hula hoops,
Pancakes.
drinking coffee, pancakes,
Bananas.
and a Twix.
And a pot noodle.
Oh, dear.
All on the same plate.
All on the same plate.
In a
All
bucket.
at the same time. Pretty
In
much.
a bucket with a fried egg on top.
Oh, my goodness, my
Alhamdulillah.
goodness.
Do you know our eating habits have got to change?
Yes,
Do you know why?
because if they don't, our shape will.
My shape already is.
Yes, same
Yeah.
here.
And I went to the gym on Sunday.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes, yes.
I went to the gym
Yep.
on Sunday. Sunday morning, 9:30, Sunday morning.
There
Bearing in mind,
is there a 9:30 on a Sunday morning?
exactly, most people are still in bed
Well,
at that
since
stage.
I've had kids, I know there is.
Yeah, I know, same here. So 9:30 Sunday morning to a spin class.
A spin class?
Yeah. Now, this in our gym, there's loads of these spinny bikes,
Right.
and you book your place, you get in there at 9:30, and this instructor turns up, and she gets on the bike at the front
Right.
and coaches you on
Okay.
what to do and how fast to do it and what kind of resistance you need on your bike
Right.
and you're standing up for part of it, you're sitting down for part of it, you're doing arm exercises as well as spinning, doing your legs. And she's not of this world. I'm
Oh,
telling
my
you,
goodness,
she's
really?
just superhuman. And I
Wow.
kept having to sit back and stop. Yeah, and she kept looking over at me and putting a thumbs up and motioning, "Are you okay?" And I was gasping for breath, clutching my chest. I'm sure she was panicking. But I was, yeah, I'm fine. Put my thumbs up. I'm fine. And at the end of that class, I said, I haven't done exercise as vigorous as that
Yeah.
since 1979. And even then, I didn't want to do that.
No,
Yeah.
no, that wasn't through choice.
But, oh my goodness. I knew that I'd done something that day, honestly, on Sunday. I knew I'd done something. That was so hurty, so intense, so stressful. And that young lady, I am convinced, she's superhuman.
Wow.
She is not of this world.
No.
I think she's built like the Terminator, with with real skin, so she looks all completely human.
Yes,
But
yeah.
underneath all of that is sheer mechanics.
Mechanics.
Tell you,
Android.
she.
It's
honestly,
the only explanation.
what I saw her do was not human.
It's the only explanation.
Crazy. But then when I looked around either side of me, my missus was pedaling like a good one. She was.
She's only got little legs.
She has tiny, and the ones just in front and to the left, it was a couple, yeah, and he must have been well into his 60s.
Really?
She must have been about the same.
Wow.
Yeah, and they were going for it like I've never seen. They were like the instructor.
Oh my goodness.
I was thinking maybe I'm a little bit unfit here.
You're thinking,
lads.
I'll just get a bus.
I tell you, and I used to be
It's where you
amazing.
get on bikes, isn't it? It is where
I
you
used to
get
be, yeah,
Yes.
but I used to be amazing on my bike.
on... Right. Yeah, actually, yes.
I could do 20 miles, not a problem.
Yep.
Not even think about it.
Yep.
But on that thing in there, I tell you, that was a different thing altogether.
Wow.
So, spin class, I really know. So all this food that we've been consuming
Yes.
at inappropriate times,
Yes.
in inappropriate amounts,
Yes.
it's the wrong food at the wrong time
Yep.
to change my shape. And I'm now suffering pain and anguish
Yes.
to offset that.
Ooh.
So, you know, people say, right, from now on, I'm dieting.
Yes.
No
Yes, yes,
chance.
yes, yes.
That won't work for
Nope.
me. I like my
No.
food.
I need to offset the food. is what
So
we need to
now
do.
on, I'm going to change the food that I eat.
Yep.
I'll still eat as much of it, but I'm going to change the food that I eat, and I'm going to change the food that I eat and exercise at the same time.
Yes.
Inshallah.
Inshallah.
Yeah. So I'll let you know all about that when I start.
Yep.
Yeah, because in fact you will know, because the food that we bring into here will change. It's going to change for the better.
Yes. Very good. I'm looking forward to that because I need it too.
Well,
Oh,
I can't say I've
goodness.
noticed.
Oh,
Actually,
well,
yes, I can.
Yes, and to be honest, because we put together a a video recently, and even I looked and thought, oof, even I can see it now.
Did you?
That's disturbing. That is. That is disturbing. Now, whilst we might not be the right shape, Do you know what we are?
Depends what shape you want to be.
The shape that we happen to be at the moment is a sack of spuds.
Yeah.
What we want to be, not that.
I'm hippo-shaped.
Whilst we might not be the right shape, we are always right.
Right.
Yes.
Yes, we are.
And if we take into account the JetBlue passenger
Yeah.
who is thrown off her flight.
I wonder why.
32-year-old JetBlue passenger
I wonder why.
thrown off.
It
One
should
of her
have, it should have
quotes.
been mid-air.
Yes, that would have been. Oh, it should have. It began with, "I'm not sitting next to a beep 3-year-old. I've been drinking all day." Woman launches to aid over seat near toddler, spits at passengers and hits JetBlue staff before being thrown off the flight.
Good.
32-year-old.
I presume this is before the plane had even set off then.
Before it even set off, yeah. It
Oh.
was not transatlantic. It was within the confines of America, so the opposite of transatlantic.
Yep.
An unruly JetBlue passenger was booted from a flight en route to Las Vegas Thursday after refusing to sit next to a toddler, throwing profanities, spitting on fellow flyer, and hitting a member of the cabin crew. She's a little angel, isn't she?
Isn't she lovely?
She's a joy.
You know, you'd want her at your parties, wouldn't
She's
you?
a treasure.
I'd like to work with her.
An absolute treasure.
Not.
So, passenger Orlando Alzugari shared shocking footage to his Twitter account of the woman identified as Valerie Gonzalez, 32, having a drunken meltdown after boarding a flight at the Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport. His quote from Twitter was, "Here's a crazy drunk chick getting thrown off our flight."
You know, he couldn't have done that better.
He could not
have phrased it
that
better.
I mean, maybe the word chick is a little bit disparaging.
No,
but
it's not disparaging
described her
enough.
perfectly, yes. And then it's showing the video, and having watched the video, it is absolutely vile.
Is it?
It is vile.
Oh,
it is
God.
awful.
Why do these people do this?
Well, how special did the 3-year-old feel?
Oh, no. the
3
poor
years
kid.
old. You've got 2 children. I've
Poor
got 3.
kid.
You think back to when they were 3.
Oh, no.
What would you have liked? Well, I mean, don't answer this question. But what would you have liked to have done to somebody that spoke to your 3-year-old child like that?
Throw them off a plane.
Oh, okay, well, let's answer it. Yes. You know what I mean?
Whilst in flight.
Oh, oh my goodness. So, and I don't know the woman involved, but do you think she'd have been quite so bad had she been sober?
No.
I'm going to go with
Not
no.
a chance.
Not a chance. So, what do the two white Muslims always say?
Well, you should never, ever, ever, under any circumstances,
Indulge?
indulge in that kind of stuff, because this is where it leads.
Yes.
Yeah. And we are always
Right.
right.
Always.
Every
So how much
single
alcohol is
time.
good for you?
None.
How much should you have?
None.
How much is recommended?
None.
And within our beautiful religion, how much is recommended?
None.
Or dictated even?
None.
Not recommended. Shambolic.
None.
And I know we said it before.
None.
We've been both sides of this fence, haven't we?
Gran! Sorry.
We've been both sides of this fence. And I can say, with absolute authority,
This side of the fence,
this side of the fence is so
better
much
than
better.
that side of the fence.
So much better.
Yeah.
In so many ways. And I know there's people
Everywhere.
out there listening to this, and either them or members of their family or friends
Yep.
do look at, that aspect of life and think, I wonder what that's like.
Yep.
Terrible.
It's awful. It's awful. And, it's awful in so many different ways.
People go, but in
It's
moderation. But
No.
how few people do it in moderation? That's
People
the problem.
don't. They don't know when to stop.
And that's the issue.
Don't know when to stop.
Like your first donut,
Yeah,
and then you just can't stop.
absolutely.
Or having a chip out of a fish and chip box, and
Not
somebody saying,
possible.
leave it at that. No!
No!
Got to finish it. An open fish and
Absolutely.
chip packet.
Yeah.
It's a finished fish and chip
Yes.
packet. It has to be done. That's the same thing with alcohol. Once
Yes,
you
it
have
is.
a bit of it, it just drags
It
you
just
back in.
drives you to
And
have more.
something grabs hold of you, and it just inspires you to have more and more and more and more
So-
and more and more and more. And you do not realise what is happening to you, and you do not realise how it is affecting other people. So how much is good for you?
None.
How much did you have?
None.
Are the two white Muslims always?
Right.
Yes, they are.
Every
Come
time
on.
on this subject, we are
On this
always,
subject,
always right.
Always
And
right.
we are
Leave it.
qualified.
Leave it. Walk
We're
away.
qualified to talk about this.
Walk away.
Walk away.
Leave it. Desist and leave the area.
Oh dear. Talking of having a drink.
Yes, yeah. We would. It's not everything. It's like I was stopped by the police. So I didn't have my lights on, and it was when I was coming back from
here,
from the British Muslim Heritage Centre.
Yep.
Because we'd had hosted the gala dinner.
Yes.
So I was there, 3-piece suit, a beautiful, lovely lady wife, dressed to the nines, looking spectacular.
Yep.
3 kids, all shiny and polished in the back seat.
Yep.
But I'd neglected to put the lights on because I was in my good wife's car, and they're automatic.
Yeah.
And it got nudged, so they didn't come on automatically.
So they were off. Yeah.
So a police officer pulled us up, and it was a bit funny. He went, "Have you been drinking?" "Why, yes, I have." "Oh, can you get out of the car?" "Yes, I can. I don't see why I should." "Well, you said you'd been drinking. You didn't ask me what. What have you been drinking?" "Water."
Lemonade.
"Yes."
And water.
"And orange juice."
Yeah. It's not hard, is it?
Even the vocabulary. Have you been drinking? The automatic assumption is, have you been drinking what?
Booze.
Alcohol. It's so endemic in this society.
It is.
Have you been drinking? Yes.
And that's
Coffee.
That's the default line of questioning on stopping an innocent driver who just happened to not have turned his lights on.
And to be fair to him, he will say, well, generally speaking, when somebody hasn't noticed, he said I followed it for a while. When somebody hasn't noticed that they've put the lights on, yada, yada, yada. Well, we were driving on that bit where it's all lit.
Yeah.
And it's completely lit.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But I know where it's coming from. He said it's the first signal. It's the first signal of what? That they've been drinking. Drinking what? What you mean is that they are under the influence of alcohol.
Yes.
Let's change our language.
Have you been consuming alcohol?
Yes. Are you under the influence of alcohol?
Yeah.
It's very different to have you been drinking.
Yes. I always drink. I drink every day.
Yeah, I drink
because
every
without
day.
it, we die.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rarely a day goes past
Yeah.
that I don't have a drink.
Same here. Yeah. Usually
Water.
tea.
Or tea. Tea. Exactly.
Tea's 98% water.
Yes. But even now when I say rarely a day goes past when I don't have a drink, as I'm saying that, I think that sounds terrible.
It sounds awful.
It sounds terrible.
It does, I know.
Why should it?
People get the wrong impression.
Why should it?
Because people assume in this country
Yep.
that when you say that, you're talking about alcoholic drink.
Because people have been made to assume. It has become part of the vernacular.
Part of the culture.
Our culture.
Yeah.
Part of the words that we use.
Yeah.
Have you been drinking? What? Alcohol is the assumption.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? That's terrible.
Have you been drinking alcohol? No. Have
No.
you been drinking? Yes.
Yes.
What have you been drinking?
Do you know what I mean?
Tea, coffee, water, juice,
Yes.
pop, you name
Yes.
it. We'll drink
The
all of those
nectar
things.
of life is what I've been drinking. Water.
Subhanallah.
Water.
What's the best drink at the end of a day during Ramadan?
Oh, water.
No, it's not. It's tea.
Oh.
It's
Oh,
tea.
no.
Tea and banana milkshake.
But I was thinking, I remember because we get bottles of water when we're doing Travi prayers at our mosque. It's amazing.
That's
So
fantastic.
they come round halfway through and they give you a bottle of water and you open
bottle
it
of
and you're just
water.
drinking. It's like that. I remember being back next to this big, massive, burly guy, and he'd got a look of like a would you say like almost a Turkish mafia? Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
And you're thinking, oh, and he just nudged me and he went, heaven.
Yeah.
And because he was drinking the water, I was like,
yeah.
do you know what? Yes. I love you. You're great.
Yes,
do you know what I mean?
you're right.
Just incredible. What a
Alhamdulillah.
guy. Heaven.
Alhamdulillah.
Heaven. Perfection.
We've talked long and hard about having a drink.
Yes, we have. What we haven't done is had a drink.
Let's get that kettle on, shall we? Inshallah.
Let's rectify that.
Back after this. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa rahmatullahi.
Wa barakatuh. I mean, just how mad is it?
How mad is it? But
Now, that's a real serious question. Just how mad is it?
M-A-D. Give me an M. M. How mad is it? But, whilst you were asking how mad is it, you neglected to notice how gently I moved this microphone towards my face.
I did actually notice that.
Not enough to pass comment. Well, only there to criticise.
I only comment when it smacks you. When it smacks you full on. It's the only thing worth commenting on.
Yes. Oh, he smacked himself in the face again.
It's the only bit of real comedy we get.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, it's good job nobody listens to this. Brilliant.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
They laughed when we said we could do comedy.
Well, they're not laughing now.
That's right. So we're here again.
We
here
are.
we go.
We are.
And what have we got in store? What are we up to? What are we doing here?
Well, do you know, we have a list.
Alhamdulillah.
And I'm just going to quickly run through this because I noticed a couple that seem to be repeating themselves, and it's because we didn't get the opportunity of doing it off the previous list.
Have we spoken about the German teenager yet?
Do you know we have?
All right, okay.
We have spoken about the German teenager. We have finally.
Woo!
We've done it.
That just seems to be ghosting on a list.
Yes,
for the last
that
6
got
months.
passed across quite a bit, and it was a doozy. That, but to be fair, we have. I'm looking now. I'm just going back through my lists, and he's been on every one. He's been. And we'll be talking about a German teenager. I believe this German teenager, in my opinion, should have got a medal. This German teenager should have got a medal. I think the German teenager.
It's just been non-stop. And we've talked about that so many times, I can't now actually remember talking about it.
No, same here. And I only look because there's a tick next to it.
A tick next to it. I think
Tick.
you might want to check that tick.
Yes. People can get in touch. Do you remember speaking about the German teenager? Something to do with driving. I think he might have got his driving licence, then lost it in a record time. Was it under an hour?
Oh, him, yeah,
I
remember him.
Was it 46 minutes or something?
Right. Yeah.
And the police took great delight in letting him know you've not even had this an hour. You've not even had it an hour.
Broken a world record.
And what did he do? Why did he lose his licence?
Was he speeding?
He was speeding. And why was he speeding? Let's be honest.
Go on.
He had his mates in the car.
Mates.
He had his mates in the car. Look at me.
Impressing his mates.
Impressing his mates. It's neither big nor...
clever. Not big, not clever,
neither
boy.
Big nor clever. Oh, so we are...
I wonder what gets into teenagers.
I know.
To pass the test.
Yeah.
And just go out on a bender like that.
I just think I'm going to drive...
Because I remember when I passed my test, I was so proud.
Yeah. Oh, me too.
And I was so grateful.
Yes.
Yeah, and I was so happy because it meant freedom.
Freedom.
A kind of freedom I've never had in my life before.
Yes.
And all of us, I didn't even have a car. I used to borrow my
wow.
dad's. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the fact is that, I had
at
the
least.
freedom to borrow the car and go.
And disappear.
Yeah.
Disappear.
It was just, prior to that, I'd only had freedom of
a bicycle.
on a bicycle.
Yeah, seriously, same here.
I also had a freedom on a moped when I bought a moped. That was great. That was
you did
fantastic.
the moped thing,
I
didn't
did
you?
that thing,
Yes, you did.
And lived to tell the tale.
Wow.
But a car's a different thing.
Totally. Yes. Incredible.
Different thing altogether.
Yeah, I had buses and bikes.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, like
Car.
I say, completely free reign. Car.
Yeah. And did you have your own car?
Shortly after I did. I
Yeah.
didn't at the time, but my sister had a car.
Wow.
And she was kind enough to lend, well, basically, as long as I gave her lifts and took her all over the place, I got to use her car. Which
She was kind enough to leave her keys where you could steal them.
Yeah, yes, pretty much along those lines.
Okay, cool.
And then I had mine fairly short after because my dad said, right, his dad had helped him buy his first car.
Yep.
He said, well, we can't, we haven't got the money to buy one, so we're going to pretty much make one. So we bought an old Ford Escort that was being sold for parts.
Yeah.
And we spent about 4 to 6 months doing it up. New wings, new wheel arches, new pretty much everything.
Were they all different colours?
All different colours. So when it hit the road, it looked like something from Army Surplus. It looked camouflage because it was originally green. Then it was green. It had a red door. It had that primer all over the place. It looked like something from Army Surplus.
Perfect.
And it was, I think, without doubt, the best car I've ever owned.
Absolutely perfect.
It was brilliant.
The first car I got was a Mark I Escort.
Oh, brilliant!
Yeah,
there you go. You see,
I sold it eventually,
right?
To get a Fiat. Yeah,
right.
But it was a 1.283P. It was a sporty Fiat.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Okay.
it
Oh,
was
lovely.
A kind of rally type.
Oh,
Fiat.
lovely. Yeah.
And it was just rocket fast. It was amazing.
Wow.
But when I sold my Mark I Escort, I sold it, and then a few weeks later, the person that bought it contacted me again and said, "Did you know there were holes in the floor?" I went, "Okay, so it's a Mark I Escort."
Yes,
it's
it's possibly older than you.
18 years old.
Yes, yeah,
and the rust protection wasn't quite as good as it is today.
We are talking about a Mark I Escort that was 18 years old in 19...
at the time,
82
at that time
or something.
Oh, earlier than that.
Was it earlier than that? Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, that might have been 80. Might have been 1980.
1980. So that was built, let's be honest, in the year of our Lord, 1962.
Yes.
It's now 18 years old
Yes.
and
So
still running.
You expect a little bit of rust.
And a little bit of
and
water.
a little bit of wear.
Yeah.
Yeah, natural wear and tear.
Yes.
Over 18 years. And, okay, so maybe you weren't expecting it to be a Flintstone car.
I was just thinking, as soon as you said, I was thinking, I've got visions of a Flintstone. I've got visions of Flintstones. You know, Dubai don't like the Flintstones. Abu Dhabi do.
Abu Dhabi do.
Sorry. Yes, we had holes in the floor.
Yeah.
Oh, Lordy.
But that was my first car, and I was so proud of it. Yeah, it was a wonderful machine. The engine blew up, of course, and we fitted a new engine into that car. And I did that myself. With the help of a friend of my dad's.
Wow.
Yeah, a guy called Tony Squires.
Oh, right, okay.
So, yeah.
Yes,
so his son owns the garage I
now.
go to all the time.
Yes.
So, a brilliant experience that was.
Yeah.
Changing an engine.
Wow.
I had no idea what we were up against.
Yeah.
It took a whole day. But at the end of that day...
It took a day. You had a new engine.
But at the end of the day, it had gone up from an 1100 to a 1300.
I was just about to ask you, did you go up?
It had way more poke than it had before.
This is extraordinary, because we did exactly the same.
Wow.
It was an 1100 that we bought,
Yeah.
and my dad said, we'll get a 1300.
Yeah.
Same gearing, same this, same that. It's literally a case of swapping the engines
Yep.
over. So we went around the scrapper, and there was just an engine just stood
Yes.
there, which is surreal, because it looked like something that the $6 million man was just about to lift up.
Yeah.
Do you remember the figure? And it came with an engine. Looked like that. I mean, I'd turned the thing just to make sure that all the pistons were, physically turned it over himself.
Yeah.
Twisted the... And we'll have that one. Put that in. And it went from 1100 to a 1300 with 1100 gearing.
Yep.
It's brilliant.
Well, I went to a scrapyard,
brilliant.
and this engine was on the floor.
Right.
Yeah, and there were quite a lot of them.
Yes. Yeah.
And the guy went, that one. That's a Ford. That'll fit.
Yeah.
And he said, what size is it? 1300. Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah.
Can we start it up? Oh, all right then. So they got a funnel and some petrol.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah. Poured a bit of petrol into the carburetor at the top.
Yep.
Yeah, and he said, have we got a battery? Have we got something to start it with?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they started it. And I've never heard a noise like it.
I'm going to say.
It was incredibly noisy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was horrible noise.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, so that's what a silencer does then, on an exhaust.
Yes. As the Americans call it, a muffler.
A muffler. So that's why you have silencers then. So I mean, you don't normally hear engines doing this.
No.
It was a crazy racket.
Yes.
And it was deafening.
Yes.
Anyways, switched it off after literally a couple of seconds, few seconds.
Yeah.
Switched it off, and Tony, the engineer, just said, "That sounds sweet." That.
Yeah.
I thought,
and you're thinking, does it?
No. What? Does it really? Didn't sound sweet to me. But bought it, fitted it, and the car was brilliant at that point.
What a difference!
And literally about 4 or 5 months later, sold it and got my Fiat, which I really enjoyed.
Yes,
yeah, fantastic.
It's incredible. I went from,
early days of cars.
Yeah, I went from the Mark II Escort to a Nova SR.
Yep.
Nova Sports Rally.
Wow.
With the Recaro seats in black.
Wow.
Lovely little thing.
Fantastic.
And then I made the mistake of selling that to get an Opel Manta GTE.
Out.
Because I wanted an Opel Manta GTE.
Ouch.
And the Opel Manta GTE was a lemon.
Yeah.
And as I was looking at it, I thought, there appears to be a crack. Oh, but I want it. You know, when your brain just goes, no, but I want it.
Yeah.
And it was everything that could go wrong went wrong.
Yeah,
it was awful. What a complete, absolute, and utter waste of money.
Yeah.
But the first two, my Nova SR was lovely.
Yep.
Lovely. And the Mark II Escort,
fantastic.
Because when I think about what I did in that car and where I went and who I went with, it's just a part of your life that, as you say, represents freedom.
Freedom. Loved it.
Incredible.
Loved those days.
Incredible.
But you know, we came onto that subject of freedom and first cars.
Yes.
By saying that when you passed your test,
you
had that freedom.
Yes.
And you were and I don't know about you, but I was careful. I was a careful driver because I didn't want to crash the car.
Yes.
I didn't want to have an accident.
Yep.
I didn't want to cause any fuss or bother.
Yep.
I just wanted to plod along on the roads, getting from A to B safely, and that was my mindset.
Yes.
A careful driver.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know what's happened to me since.
I'm going to say none of this rings true today. That's extraordinary. But no, I mean, I did have a little bump in my sister's car.
Okay.
2 weeks to the day, having passed my test.
Right.
But all that was, I went round. I got a corner that was too tight, a little bit too quickly, and it was raining.
Yeah.
And the back end came out.
Yeah.
And it was rear wheel drive. Didn't really know what to do. You know what I mean? And it was just, I just panicked and just allowed the car to spin all the way around and hit a wall.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things. As soon as you know that if that happened now, you just sort it out. Your brain would just automatically count and sort it out. And it was naivety. It was slightly too fast in the wet on a reverse camber. It was an accident waiting to happen.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the great thing about the Mark II Escort was it would not go fast.
No.
It just wouldn't go fast. It would not go fast. It would get there quite quickly.
Yeah.
It'd get to 30 quite quickly because it was a 1300 with 900 gear. But by all accounts, it was not the fastest thing in the world.
No.
Ergo, it just didn't go fast.
No.
It would do about 70 if it was on a motorway.
Yep.
And so, it just didn't really drive it fast.
Okay. Somebody I know passed their test.
Yep.
And were given a Corsa.
Right, okay.
Very nice Corsa.
Yes.
Yeah, only about 5 years old.
Right.
And it was one of the sporty models.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's rocket fast.
Yes.
And he got points.
Right.
Almost immediately.
Oh, golly.
So he had the kind of insurance that said you are brand new to the driving, and if you do anything wrong, we're going to punish you.
Right.
And they did. Do you know what they did?
I don't know. Go on.
You are no longer insured with this company.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Find alternative insurance.
Wow.
Now, can you imagine how difficult that was?
Oh,
I'm 17.
I'm bringing up for a quote of insurance.
Yeah.
Why is that? Because in fact, the first thing. Sorry, go on. Carry on.
It is the first thing that they ask.
Have you ever been?
Have you ever been declined or
refused insurance?
Yes, I have. Yes, I have. I've been kicked off my last insurance. What was that for? I was speeding. When were you speeding?
Goodness.
3 days after I passed my test.
Oh my.
Why were you speeding?
Goodness.
Because I had a car full of mates and I was showing off
car
to
full
them.
of mates. That's the thing. Car full of mates.
Now, I think that's fair of the insurance company.
Absolutely.
Say, I'm sorry, but you got one chance at this.
You are high risk, and now you've proved it.
Yes, exactly.
Yep.
So he had to go hunting around, or rather, his dad had to go hunting around for another insurance company that, first of all, would take him on.
Would take him.
And then, secondly, at what cost?
Yes.
And thirdly, it involved a black box.
Yep.
Now, I quite like these black boxes.
Brilliant.
My daughter had a black box, and what the black box does for anybody who doesn't know, it measures. It tracks where you go, at what time you go. It measures your speed. It measures
braking.
When you brake harshly. It measures that, and it gives a reading of points each month. And each month you're allowed so many points, and if you go over that points figure, I'm sorry, we don't insure you anymore.
You have proved statistics correct.
Yeah, absolutely. You
and
have proven.
As a 17-year-old person just passed your test, I'm afraid you're high risk, and
That's
you've just proved it.
Yes.
Brilliant.
Now, this lad got his black box. Yeah. And a matter of 3 months later, what happened?
Oh, no. No, please don't tell me they took his insurance.
I'm sorry, we are no longer prepared to insure you.
Well, and I don't know who this person is, so I feel I'm going to have to say, fool.
Absolutely.
Sorry, but fool.
Yes.
One spitting.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
Bad enough to do it the first time, but that is just... But it's the exuberance of youth and all that kind of malarkey.
But why was he banned for the second time?
Well, I'm assuming it was for driving too fast.
With a car full of mates.
Yes. There you go.
Just showing off. There's no... but you'd think you'd learn.
And that's my point. And
he didn't.
How much is he showing off as he walks to the bus?
Well, the thing is that, first of all, how much is he showing off? Yes, as you rightly say.
Yep.
When he's begging his mates for a lift.
Yep.
And or going for the bus.
Yes.
And when he's asking his dad to fork out again for some more insurance.
Well.
And
I know.
And his dad is now
have any choice.
His dad is now saying no.
I wouldn't have any choice here. The good lady would be saying not a
on
chance.
my watch.
See that bed? The bed that you've made?
Yes. Why don't you just go on lie in it?
Lie in it. I hope it's comfy because you're going to be in it for what would appear to be the next 5 years.
Yes.
Because until you're 22, it's not going to change.
That's right.
Lunacy.
So what? That's just nonsense.
Lunacy.
But what is it that gets into their minds? What is it that thinks that they have that makes them think that they have to drive really quickly to show off to the friends?
Show off to the mate.
How many times do you have to see the flowers at the side of the road?
Oh, golly.
Yeah, where the car was wrapped around a tree. Why do you have to? How many times do we have to hear the news stories where tragically 4 kids have lost their lives?
Yep.
Yeah. How many times do we have to see this? How many times before it sinks home that driving really fast is not cool?
Yeah.
And driving really fast is just gonna end badly for either you and or other road users.
Yep.
Perfectly innocent people
Yep.
who you get caught up in this nonsense.
Yeah.
So if you're out there, if you're 17, if you just passed your test, just slow down, will you?
Yes.
Just drive sensibly.
And enjoy the privilege, not a right,
and the
privilege
freedom of driving.
Oh, freedom.
I didn't envisage being on my soapbox so soon.
We never got to the list, did we?
No, didn't we?
I don't recall.
No, absolutely we didn't.
Other than a German teenager, we've not. So we haven't even ticked one off there,
which we even talked about.
Yeah,
before.
So what we've done is we're getting worse. We've just talked about one that we'd done previously and not done one from the list. Oh, goodness.
Given that we're contractually obliged now to do a bit of this, it's too late for that list. We'll have to do the list.
We'll have to go back to it
in a short while.
Let's go back to it later.
Inshallah.